Hello Artcadets and welcome to today's video. Today we will be doing a colour pencil picture of Mrs. Potts and Chip from Beauty and the Beast, and here's one I did earlier. So if you've got your colour pencils and your paper ready, let's go. So to simplify this piece, I thought I'd draw around a circle and then just shape the circle by chopping off the sides on the top half, and on the right side of the circle you can see I'm just drawing almost like a question mark shape for the handle, and just doing a rough outline of where the top of the teapot or her hat is. I drew a circle from the top vertically down to the bottom to show roughly where the kind of centre of the face would be, so I can mark in the eyes, which are just ovals, and used the handle of the teapot to show where to draw the spout, and just made sure that it was equal between those two. Then go in and do a little bit more detail once I've got the placement of the eyes, and put in the eyelids, and did then a little bit of shaping around the top of the teapot. Once you know where everything is and you've roughed it out, then you can add the details. If you try and do too much detail first, you can end up having to rub out a lot and then start again, so make sure you know where everything's going before you add the detail. On to Chip, then he's a small teacup, and basically I just drew this doing a U shape or like a bell shape, and the same as I did with Mrs. Potts, I did a line running vertically to show the line of where his middle of his face is going to be. They're not in the centre because they're both facing towards each other, so that's why the vertical line doesn't run down at the exact middle. It's sort of a 3/4 on the side. And then again with Chip's nose, I've done another sort of question mark shape, the same as Mrs. Potts' teapot handle, and then marked in the other details. So the little chip is just a V in the top of the cup, and just a simple sort of eye and mouth, and done those just roughly. Again, you know, you can rub out at this stage, so make sure it's right before you do any sort of colouring in or anything. Here I'm just rubbing out some of the guidelines to tidy it up before I'm then going in to start the colouring in process. So I think from the last 2 weeks we've talked a little bit about keeping our pencil sharp and making sure that we don't press too hard to start with. Last week I did say that I would be using the white pencil to blend, but I've done a little bit of practice since then, and kind of figured that if when you're shading you use sort of like 3 different tones generally. So you use your lightest tone, you have a mid-tone, and then a dark tone. So for example, when I'm doing the gold edging to the top of the teapot and the handle, I've got more than just one colour yellow, so I'm tempted to do like the light colour and a mid-tone colour, so that's somewhere in between light and dark, and then kind of keep mixing them out. And I've still been using the white to blend because it does add some nice highlights, but if you're worried that it does lighten your work, it does a little bit, but then you can come in and basically, if you're not pressing too hard, you can do layers of colour pencil, and so you can build up your different colours rather than just doing all one colour, doing sort of light circular movements and then swapping between the light tones. Like on the eyelids here, I started off with a mid-tone and then a dark tone, and then did the white to kind of blend them in and give it a softer look but a more blended colour. When I'm colouring in the white of the teapot, this is quite a big area I've done here, so it did take a few layers to kind of get it to cover the grey of the paper. I've used this grey paper again because it does make that white colour pop out. I think if you were doing it on a white piece of paper, you'd struggle to get it to stand out so much. So yeah, just sort of going around in little circles, keeping your pencil nice and sharp, and sometimes you just need to add a few more layers. to make sure that you get in between all those little grooves in the tooth of the paper that we talked about a bit last week. I've also then come and brought in a different colour. It isn't grey, it's more of a sort of a light blue, just to add shading underneath the spout of the teapot around her mouth, and this just gives it a bit more of a 3D look. Just moving her mouth a little bit there because I decided it wasn't quite high enough. And so yeah, just carrying on with that grey and adding a bit more shading around the spout. So at this point I'm just pressing a little bit harder on the outside of the teapot here, just to kind of show the highlights. And again, this technique I was talking about having like using the dark colour, a light colour and a mid-tone colour. So instead of worrying that it's going to make your colours lighter, I've actually been practicing this, and it does work if you use that sort of technique. You know, don't just do a dark colour all over and then lighten it out with a white, because you don't get that sort of shading effect. You don't get different colours, you just end up with one flat colour all the same. So if you use the dark colour and then the white colour next to it rather than just on top of it, and then blend them together, have a practice, because that's what I did, and it does work a lot better. It's like the same with anything, you know, practice and practice and practice, and you'll find the best way to use the technique and how to improve it yourself. So that's a really good tip, is just to keep practicing and you will get there in the end. As I said here, I'm just going over the white areas again of Mrs. Potts, because I did see some grey colours coming through, and as much as my arm ached, and your arm will ache a little bit if you keep having to go over things in little circles like this, it's worth it in the end, because you get a much better coverage of the pencil all over, and it's generally better. And then if you, don't press too hard though, because like where I'm adding the pink on the cheeks, if you do press really hard, as I said last week, that's called burnishing, and it just flattens your paper so much that you can't then add any other colour onto it. So on her cheek I did actually add some pink area there, and I wouldn't have been able to do this if I really pressed hard. So lots of layers is a lot better than just one really hard layer, unless you want, just one flat colour and really good coverage. But yeah, if you want to sort of add shading, it's really good to just do several layers, and then you can add in a very different colour on top. I'm just going in and doing the same with chip here. Light blue just to add to the shadow. And the yellow, I think I've kind of used 3 different types of yellow, and perhaps even some of the tan colour. And if you haven't got a variety of shades, don't worry at all, because you've got. And usually in any colour pack of pencils you have like a yellow, an orange, a white and a brown. All those colours will be really good, as you can see here. I'm using orange, so don't worry if you haven't got a whole big pack of pencils and don't think you can't do the same effects. And also just using a little bit of grey underneath the rim of the cup and of the teapot, just to give it a little bit of shadow. Now at this bit I decided that I would go around with black fineliner. haven't done this on my last drawing, but I just thought it would help it stand out a bit and give it a different look. This also helped with the eyebrows. And just to say that it can be a bit tricky to do black fine liner over pencils, especially if you've got like wax-based ones, water-based ones, or ones that will sort of blend with water, are easier, but because the wax does offer a bit of resistance, that means that when you're trying to draw over it, it can make the pen look as if it's running out. But if you want, you can kind of highlight it or outline it in the first place, but I decided to do it as an afterthought just because that's what I fancy. You don't have to do that with yours. At the end here, I'm just adding some little sparkles and a few last highlights with my white gel pen, just to give it a little bit more of a pop and a bit more of a magical feel to it, just to finish it off. That's all for today, Artcadets. I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial in colour pencils. Next week will be the last colour pencil tutorial for the month of February, and we will be going on to doing paints in March. So if there's something you particularly like me to draw next week, then just drop us a comment below. If you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Bye!